listeners, we are back. It's Tuesday night. And we are live once more, as we are every Tuesday, aren't we, Maestro Lindberg?
Absolutely. It's great to be back, and we are in our second week of European Gramophone Contemporary Music Festival. Last week we had quite a bright feeling with Rudolfini brothers, Nils Landgren, Fredrik Högberg, and everything. This week it's a little darker, isn't it?
Well, it depends on in which mode you are in. But yes, it's a more serious mode, actually, I might say, think for myself. It's very serious. Could you tell us a bit more about what we're releasing and so on?
Yeah, and next week also we continue with this contemporary music festival with Sune Mattias Emanuelsson's fantastic variations on Bingen, where he uses electronic music combined with acoustic music, with choir and poem reading and everything. It's really something spectacular. And then, of course, Matthew Peterson with the Stockholm Saxophone Quartet. Really, they did a phenomenal job on this piece by Matthew Peterson, which is a lament, and it's like a tribute to a composer, very important Swedish composer, Sven David Sandström.
Sven David Sandström, yes.
So that's what we are going to do. Talk about those four pieces and compare them. They're very different, aren't they, Per?
They sure are. I mean, the lament, in contrary to the rest of the recording, is very different indeed in aesthetics and mood and so on. But yeah, we will talk about that later.
Yeah, so we are actually doing a lot of contemporary music. Last week, didn't we do some contemporary music? Then in Linköping. We were there.
Did we go to Linköping? I can hardly remember. I'm still tired from this. We went there with, first of all, we got up at 4 a.m. I had to call my parents down here to take care of my kids. And then we went there in your car, Christian, and we put up, 24 mics. And because of the
no
pandemic,
time at all. In very
no
short
time at all. And because of the pandemic, the musicians were sitting 2 meters, apart from each other. So it was a real task. It was quite difficult.
It was, and you can actually see it. It's on. Yeah. It's still there. They sent every single minute of it, and with interviews also. And it was music by Emil Lindström, music by Benjamin Stern, also music by Christian Lindberg, a guy, funny, strange guy, and Tchaikovsky. Per, you did a fantastic suite of Tchaikovsky, which is
an arrangement, for wind band. And
it was released
difficult
later on. So tonight we also have a release. We have this.
Of course we do. Yeah.
And we have an orchestra. We have actually one person who is fantastic. It's 3 o'clock in Taiwan now, in the middle of the night. And Janet Chien, the solo cello player of the Taipei Symphony Ochestra, is joining us in a little while. It's really wonderful. She's a fantastic cello player, and the orchestra is great. We're so proud to have signed them. It's really wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, the whole of Taiwan, the whole Taiwan is sleeping, except for one person, and that's Janet, right? They're all asleep, but Janet is here to talk to us.
Yeah.
If she hasn't fallen asleep, you never know.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But first, of course, the usual and
that's my favorite, actually.
Yeah, some say. I mean, I have done many of those, but I'm doing them a little bit more detailed now, and I'm going to change my screen here because, as you see, with this funny
Your
thing.
cello isn't showing
My
properly.
cello is not showing, but now it is. Here we are.
Wow, maestro. Mm.
And I'm going to go into something which is very, very difficult. And for ages, when I was very, very young, I had big problems with this. And I was practicing so hard with, it's actually, I'm talking about attacks.
Mhm.
And not until I was about 32, 33, I really grasped how to do this, how to really be in control of the attack. Of course, you are always a little bit out of control in some way or the other. But there is one little thing which is important. When you make your attack, it's the coordination between letting the air on and producing the sound. So you have to have that thousandth of a second where everything is happening. And what I and many, many, many other people easily do, you breathe in, you prepare for the note, and then release the air. And that's the big problem, because the air has to be in motion and in the right speed of that particular note at that particular dynamic. So I go with an easy note now. I go with the F. If the air is not at the right speed for that F, I'll show you what happens. If it's too slow, the air, this is what happens. You hear? The actual speed has to be there immediately. And if the speed is too fast, you get a heart attack, which is very, very ugly.
Distortion almost.
Yeah, yeah. And the softer you go, the more control it is required. So when you have this F, you have to know how much air is that F needs. So the speed of the air that you push out should be equal to the one that you inhale. And it happens immediately. Listen. Not, but like this. And then, of course, many people ask, what do you do with the tongue? What do you actually do with the tongue when you start the note? In some countries or in some theories, you should sort of start the note with the tongue. No, you start the note with the air. The tongue is only there to collect. I start the note now without the tongue. Which is also very good because you can hear that the actual speed now is not absolutely perfect. That was much better. And then the only thing that the tongue does, it collects the air at the last thousandths of a second. If it collects it too early, you get an ugly heart attack. If you collect it too late, then that happens. So
Christian,
we are done.
Christian,
It's
of course,
yeah.
I mean, this is very interesting. I mean, we get a
So
lot of
it's
questions.
for the wind players, and questions can come
Yeah.
up, but also you can save this and
Could we do like a Q&A in the end of the show, because we get loads of questions about this. I would like to interview you now and ask you some questions about tonight's release. Actually.
Yeah, wonderful.
Because we have like this hideous monster behind us. Could you tell us? Fake news.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's happening to you?
Oh. It's the piece actually comes from a bigger piece called 2017. This was a commission by 3 different orchestras. The premiere was taking place in Antwerp, actually. The other one was Stuttgart, the other one was another place. And we, when I wrote this, originally the idea was that it was going to be something similar to The Rite of Springs, the same orchestration. Finally, they changed the idea, and I was there thinking, what am I going to write? I was so worried about the election and what happened in 2016 with the election. So I decided, okay, 2017 is going to be a tumultuous, a very turbulent year. So I decided to see exactly what was happening during the year and write the piece about the year.
You're talking about the American election now, or?
Yeah. I'm talking
okay.
about the American election. And so that piece was called 2017. Later on, I got a commission from the Bilkent Symphony Orchestra. They wanted me to write a new piece, a shorter piece, 10, 11 minutes, and I thought immediately of calling it Fake News. And it's like, it has all these worries in it, but in a much more dense way than 2017. So,
but the thing is, I mean, we have Oviedo Symphony Orchestra playing it, Bilkent, of course. Could we be certain that this is the final version with the Taipei Symphony Orchestra, or will you change it again? Or
well, no, it's quite interesting when you have the possibility to rewrite things. What happened actually was that it's 3 sort of different versions, a little bit of different orchestrations. The first one for Bilkent, the second one for Oviedo Symphony Orchestra, and this one for Taipei. And then in that case, I even think about the orchestra, which are the strongest sections in the orchestra, and maybe I try something new. I see that this was a bit too challenging for in sort of playing together chamber music, so I make it more practical and things like this. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, I mean, it's very political, right? I mean, you dedicated the piece to Elijah Cummings. Could you tell us who's that guy?
Yeah. I mean, Elijah died. He was one of the most wonderful persons in the American Senate, and he is sort of, he fought so hard against this fake news, because fake news, it's such a big word. We see people writing things which is really not true, and then it originally I thought of dedicating it to all the journalists who are fighting so hard for telling the real truth and fighting against this cloud of fake news that is almost making the world fall apart. I think so. So but Elijah Cummings, he was wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the audience is ready for this. Should we? I mean, because the album will drop tonight at any minute now. Should we play?
Yeah, play a little bit of the beginning of the opening. Black River. Why not? Can you?
Are you sure, Maestro?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's try. We have been blocked before, and now let us try this. So if we hear sound, could you please give thumbs up?
Yeah,
okay?
I will do that.
This dear friends, this fantastic first section of this monstrous, fantastic piece is called Black River. Okay, so let's do this.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, we can hear what is going on. Wonderful. So that gives an idea. So right.
I mean, first of all, the first thing I get to think of, is the titles. Really, it's such a beautiful, poetical craftsmanship, choosing all these titles. Could you give us something about, all the titles in there?
Yeah, I mean, it comes in. It comes to me when I really listen to it. Black River is like a. It's really the feeling that I have when I hear this. I think of this Black River, and also when I chose that title, I also had the cover, which you see that's behind me. The cover of the piece is this, and I have there's one of the competitors, Marcus Crompton. It's actually a picture that he has done, which I worked with Photoshop afterwards to make this really quite terrible idea, terrible sort of feeling. When you see the newspaper, the bulletins there also.
Maestro, I think it's a brilliant title. Fake news coming from a fake composer. You're not really a composer, are you? I want to ask you those questions. You come from a very talented family. Your mother was a gifted painter, right? And your brother is a lute player of absolute world class, bringing Renaissance into our time. Your sons, one is a very talented lawyer and a filmmaker, and your daughter is probably the most talented Swedish composer of today. Why did you choose to play the trombone? You got all this talent. Your brother, your other brother, is an architect.
Yeah.
So what went wrong?
What went wrong? Yeah, this is a very good question, actually, Jack. It was a. I was not very good at school, to be honest. I had problems because I was doing all sorts of things that you shouldn't do. I smoked 60 cigarettes a day. I was robbing
the bank.
Almost. At one point, I actually did something like that. Not a bank, but a little shop. And but then suddenly I heard Jack Teagarden, who also was quite a disastrous human being. No, kindest person ever, but he was a very heavy alcoholic also. But I just loved his playing.
He was the Justin Bieber of your time. And I know that you're very old, but I'm proud to say that I found your very first record. I bought it on a flea market. It looked like this. This is your first record. And I'm going to put it in. I got this player that you have to play those very old records. And I never played this before. So I just have a short... Christian, did you have to be naked?
Mr. Christian Lindberg, could we please?
I was
Maestro,
nice. Now I was nice.
should we put him out? Should we cancel this guy again? He managed to
No,
get in.
no, let him go on a
Okay,
little
okay.
bit more. You know, you don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
But
know.
can we? I was just.
No, we are getting. No. Well, he can stay, but stay quiet because we are bringing someone else in now. Aren't we?
I
Yeah.
can't guarantee that I'm quiet though.
Well, we can, but I would
Yeah.
really love to listen to one more,
Yeah.
excerpt of
Yeah, the little track, Bulletin of Lies.
Please, could we hear that? That would be fantastic. It's coming
Can
right
you please
here.
mute the sound while playing it?
Yeah, so that's the piece. That's like the part where someone is just saying, "Hello, this is happening." The trumpets, you hear the trumpets play there, and it's great. And we have Janet here.
Janet!
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Oh
Should I
my
say good
God.
evening or good morning? I don't know anymore.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:20, isn't it?
Yes.
An extra
Wow,
applause.
extra applause for you, Janet.
Thank you.
So how
Great to
are
see
you?
you.
How are you?
Fine. Just a little swoozy from too much coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you, Janet? I was there when we did this recording. It was amazing. We had a full audience, and I was sitting 2 weeks in the quarantine. It was an experience of a lifetime. But tell me, how is the pandemic? You are incredible. This is like the world champions of this pandemic. How is it going right now?
Well, as of now, we have 1,200 cases only.
Wow. On 23 million people.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we have, well, it's now yesterday, we have 11 cases. And so the alert has been raised 1 degree. So unfortunately, we have many concerts being canceled for about 2 weeks period until the government is sure of the situation is safe.
You have 11
Other
cases
than
in
that-
the orchestra? In the orchestra only 11 cases or in
No,
the
11
orchestra?
cases.
The entire country
Oh.
for 1 day.
Woo.
We are very strict. Christian,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
knew you had to do all your exercise and running around in the hotel room, right? I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I heard that rumor
Janet-
about you running marathon in your hotel room.
yeah.
I think
Fake
you just
news,
run
fake
one
news.
lap and then you looped it in the iMovie or something.
Janet, please tell me, you have been the solo cellist for quite a while now. Could you tell us a bit what's the strength of the Taipei Symphony Orchestra? What's your greatest assets and so on? What's so good being a part of this orchestra?
Okay, I'll tell you a secret. I've been in the orchestra for over 30 years now, but I started very young. So I'm probably the oldest member of the orchestra now, and I'm very happy to say that almost half of our members are young people. And I think they have great potential and they're eager to learn. They're very adaptive. And we were just very happy to work with Maestro.
That's great. I know, it was fantastic, and I really like this orchestra, and specifically, I think the string. There's a very great strength in the strings and the percussion. I mean, I remember they practiced a lot, and the brass and woodwind, of course, wonderful. Some really wonderful players there. Now, tell us a little bit about your new music director, because I know you love him.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Very
I'll show
good.
you his There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we've done in the past 3 years up to now, only 2 Mahler symphony left undone yet. That would be next season. And I think he's made a marvelous change in the sound of the orchestra. We're very happy with it.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Great to hear.
Janet, could you tell us, I mean, playing Mahler and then playing, no, not Christian Lindberg, but Christian Lindberg, you know, the fake news.
I saw it.
What's the challenge in performing this
Yeah,
contemporary?
what's it like to play a real composer?
Okay, no, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, playing the fake news, how was it? Was it very demanding, or as a string
I
player?
think the hardest is try to keep up with Christian's energy.
Yeah. We know that one.
Too much counting and too many fortissimos.
Yeah.
But it was great fun.
Yeah. We had.
But Janet, I've heard that you played this beautiful cello solo in William Tell Overture, Rossini. We might release it actually later this year. But I'm just curious, you know, are you like most cellists, you know, or nervous when doing this? I mean, it's a iconic piece. Or how do you come onto it? Really, the solo.
Well, if I didn't play well, the apple wouldn't be on my head. It would be right here on my heart. I would die. But it was very comfortable playing with maestro, because that solo is very particular. You need real support from your section, because it's actually me and the other solo member from the cello section. And so it's not my solo show actually. And so I really need the support from my colleagues. And Maestro did a great job in making this whole thing meld together. It was a great experience.
Thank you so much. But tell me now, Janet, Tracy, your colleague, the great violinist, you have a trio together, and you also, you invited me the first time I was there. You invited me to your
2007.
Wow!
I'll show you the program.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah, I think that was the year. 2005, you play with TSO.
Yeah.
And I was so overwhelmed by the motorcycle concerto. Yeah, with your red leather suit. So I said, I've got to have this guy come and play something besides just the motorcycle thing. I want to see what else he can do.
That was great. We did another one later, I think, also. But can you still do those things, or is it? Are you still having this organization and doing things?
Well, during the pandemic, I'm running more on the salon side, just little concerts in my studio. Yeah. But I'm thinking of bigger projects later when this whole thing is settled.
The two of you arranged it so incredibly well. You took care of me and the pianist and took us out and everything. So we had a great audience. So we really enjoyed that. That was fantastic.
I mean,
yes, that was a great experience.
Janet, we will of course play a bit from the recording with the string section in spotlight. Maestro, if you allow us, could we play a tiny bit of the Reflective Sorrow?
Yes, and stay, Janet. Stay, Janet.
Please do. Here is Reflective Sorrow from the Fake News album released tonight.
Okay, so
Christian, this is such well-composed music. And tell me, there's also a track called The Dirty Bragger.
Yeah.
What was the
that-
name of this piece? What was the name?
This was Reflective Sorrow.
Yeah, I feel sorry already.
Yeah, now comes the dirty bragger. Yeah, I don't want to be locked down from Facebook again.
Because you still are actually.
I still am.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say that the dirty bragger is anyone in particular. The dirty bragger is to all those people who continue to talk fake news and do horrible things. And I'm happy. I mean, the last track now, Devil's Train to Hell. Today I'm a little bit more optimistic, but at that time I thought the train would go to hell. So
Oh my.
a little bit of that, if you like. Are we running out of time?
Maestro, do you know what just happened?
No?
The album is out on Spotify.
Wow!
So
Fantastic!
I just posted the link.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is like fireworks. It's New Year's or something. We have to just. I mean, oh my God. Should we listen to a short excerpt of The Devil's Train to Hell?
Yeah, just 5 seconds is enough.
Because
Yeah,
we have also some trombone questions.
Okay.
But let us play this fantastic finale of the.
And I see that Christian Lindberg there is very angry because we don't let him in.
I feel that 5 seconds is way too long.
Okay, Devil's Train to Hell.
Yeah.
That's an ending, Maestro. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
That's actually quite good.
Oh, that's great to come from Christian Lindberg.
No,
I
but
especially like the
seriously,
part when you stop the recording.
this is great. The album just dropped on Spotify and also on Apple. I will post the link after the show, and you can just start streaming. As you can see in the commentary field below, it's out. But tell us, Maestro, we have 2 trombone questions.
Yes.
It's Bobby Fisco. Sorry, Bobby, we know you. I'd love to hear any tips from Christian in terms of how to use less mouthpiece pressure. And since I know you can't do that, I will show it myself. No, sorry.
Okay, yes, I will. Thank you, Bobby. There are some fantastic exercises, and I'll do that next time. Next Wednesday, on your request, I'll talk about how to use less pressure. There is specific exercises which are very good, which I learned from Dennis Wick, by the way, the British fantastic legend, trombone legend. So that's why
next week.
Yeah.
There's another question from Marcus Crompton. He asks you, do you ever use breathing techniques for meditation or relaxation as well as for technique?
Breathing, yes, of course. I do yoga every day. I do my yoga every day. I have 23 different positions, which I do. And as Janet says, I am a very energetic person and can go spin.
I haven't seen that yet.
So I go to spin, and as a contrast to that, I have to do that for relaxation. So that's absolutely true that I do. So
this is fantastic. I mean, Janet, you have been away.
You're a star. Thank you for
It's
coming.
a pleasure.
Thank you
Great
so
seeing
much.
you all.
I mean, solo cellist from the Taiwan Symphony Orchestra.
Taipei Symphony.
Taipei.
I was correcting myself before you had the chance to do it. Thank you so much for being with us, Christian Lindberg. You're always with us. Thank you so much. And don't forget, The album is out. Please stream along. It's also on Apple. I will post the link. Like us on Facebook, Instagram. You know it. And thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you next week. Thank you, Janet.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.